And hello there folks, I'm RGB from RJB TV, and tonight we've got the continuation of the tag team battle, 4v8 and Trisha against Rabbit and Gensay. So far the score is 5 wins for Team Trisha and 4v8. And surprisingly, 4v8 has 0 wins. It's all been through the hard-fought effort of Trisha winning pretty much every single game that he played against Rabbit and Gensay, which comes to most as somewhat of a surprise, because I had Trisha ranked as the least strong player out of these 4, and they're all very strong players. All 4 of them very strong players, but Trisha has proved me that he is stronger than I thought he was. He has proven himself to be more capable than I assumed, but I already thought he was very good, just better than assumed. So it's going to be a Protoss against Protoss in game number 9. Actually, let me make the score on the top a little bit smaller. It just looks a little bit too big, doesn't it? A little bit too big. Just a little bit smaller, just so it takes up a little bit less space in this game. Also, look at this. I have a live chat now, in case I want to start live streaming, but I don't really live stream that much. But just in case that I ever plan to live stream, look at this, we've got a chat right there on the right. I can put it anywhere I want. I can put it over here, put it over there, put it somewhere here on the bottom corner, maybe even. I think for stream, like if I do a live cast, this is perhaps the best spot, but when I'm playing, perhaps somewhere around here is a little bit better, just right above that box where you have the commands in that corner. But that aside, let's remove that chat. And let's focus on the Protoss against Protoss between Trisha and Lovely Rabbit. Both players very strong Protoss players. They, I would say, are both masters of this particular matchup in the StarCraft. I mean, the Korean community plays a lot of Protoss against Protoss. A lot of it. Literally a lot of it. Perhaps even more than any other matchup. Perhaps even more than any other matchup. This is the matchup they probably play the most. Oh, I'm gonna adjust the audio settings a little bit in OBS, and hopefully that is going to be exactly what I have to do. Okay. So we have Nexus first from both players, but we have a diversion. A diversion? It's not like a diversion of a distraction, but diverging paths. But they kind of sound the same as a word, don't they? Diversion and a diversion. But I mean, like, they're splitting up into different directions, different pathways that are taking to try and win the game. We have Trisha going for early gas, then we have the Forge, Cybercore, and Triple Gateway. But the gateways from Rabbit are already finished up. He went for the gateways before he went for the Cybercore and completely skipped out on the Forge. So he's going to have a lot of gateway production coming out onto the map, a lot of Zealots and probably Dragoons coming out right after. Whereas Trisha went for a more defensive approach, getting a cannon, getting earlier gas. His gas is a little bit higher. Well, actually his gas is a little bit low. Oh yeah, that gas is a little bit higher. He's got more minerals because he has been delayed on producing those Zealots. And that early Zealot pressure from Rabbit here is disrupting Trisha's economy quite a bit. Quite a bit. Rabbit will have quite a supply lead pretty soon. He's going for a robotics because he's expecting Dark Templars here from Trisha, because Trisha went for early Citadel of Adun. And it can only mean if there's no Robo, he's going to go for Dark Templars to try and defend himself, and Rabbit's going to try to counter that by getting early Observer. So now's a race against the clock. Will Trisha have his Dark Templars out quick enough to offset the Observer from Rabbit, or will have Rabbit get that Observer out on time? Cannon going to go down. That's actually pretty disastrous because he doesn't have a lot to defend himself with. Zealots will spawn very soon. But we have Dragoons already on the way there from Rabbit, and we got 3 Zealots against 2 Zealots there from Trisha. Which means it's free firing time to kill some probes. The economy is getting further disrupted, and will get disrupted even more as the game goes on. He's getting speed, no Dark Templar. No Templars are on the way, just Zealot speed. He's gonna have to do something very quick because we have an Observer on the way. Oh, he's not getting the Observer. So he's adjusting. He did not see the Temple's Archive here from Trisha. And look, more Zealots are still dying. The Zealots just come walking in and attack the probes. And the economy is already almost an 8 worker difference. Almost 9. That is a huge difference. Basically, Rabbit has 25% more workers than Trisha. So 25% more income. And he's getting a Reaver drop on top of getting Dragoons. No cannons in the back. So, something I wanted to highlight earlier. At first I thought that Trisha was going to go for Dark Templars, but Rabbit, I thought he was going to go for an observatory, but because he did not see the Templars Archive, he switched up and went for a support bay, and is not going to get observers, he's going to get a Reaver. So a Reaver drop. Oh, now we're going to get some payback. An attempt at a payback, at least. We have Dragoons to defend. Zealot's going to try to kill cannons, try to kill probes, but not being very successful here, though, but he now has speed. 10 worker difference. The worker difference has grown even bigger than before. Still 25%. It should have stayed on 8, but now it's... Oh, he's trying to even it up. He's trying to even it up. He's surrounding the Dragoons in the back there. That's really well done, but now we got the Reaver on the scene. And the Reaver's going to save the day because Zealots cannot shoot into the sky. So the Reaver Scarabs will completely explode and destroy the Zealots that are still killing probes. But likewise, a Dragoon from Rabbit got into the backside here and is just standing here on hold position, killing probes. He's going to kill a lot of them because Trisha is ignoring the Dragoon for now. He's got no units here back at home. They have to wait to spawn. And you're just going to keep on dying. Just going to keep on dying. So both players are trading workers non-stop. But we have a Reaver here arriving on the scene, gonna unload, and there's nothing that can shoot up into the sky. As said before, cannons are finishing up, but he kills the probes on the left side, and that is gonna be a GG. We have a lot of kills on the Reaver. I can't see how many, but he had about 36, 34 probes, so he killed at least 10 of them. So the Dragoon there died, so I can't see how many kills that ended up having, but Trisha got completely obliterated in the economy. And he was trying to obliterate Rabbit's economy and was succeeding to a degree. There's one cannon up, another warping in. We got 4 Zealots are on the scene, more Zealots spawning here back at home. Idiot managed to defend against his Reaver drop. He could have perhaps won the game by having more production from his 6 gateways and having Zealots running across the map, killing cannons, killing probes, and disrupting the economy. All he had to do was protect his own economy, but he couldn't quite succeed at doing that. Which means we now have one more win here on the board for Team Rabbit and Gensay. And we're going to go into the next game. So let me just switch over the scene and start loading up the next game. Searching for the next game. I wonder if this screen is small enough or big enough. I want you to know and kind of see what I'm doing, but I don't want you to see the game length, so that I don't spoil the length of the next game, so you don't know what's going to happen. So let me know in the chat, is the game length visible from its small little tiny window, or is it not readable? Because it not being readable is the point. Okay, so let's jump into game number 10 of this tag team battle. 4 of 8 returns onto the scene, and Rabbit remains yet again. 4 of 8 finally gets his chance to prove that he's got the skills to make us move with excitement and pleasure and joy by displaying us some really strong Protoss play against Rabbit's Zerg. But Rabbit has a very smart Zerg. I've said it many times before, Rabbit is a smart player and he takes defensive risks, not offensive risks. He takes defensive risks. He will try to get advantages over the opponent by cutting corners here and there as smart as he can. He doesn't do it like blindly. He's not being dumb. He's like being very smart with every single little detail, but sometimes it does backfire because sometimes there's some risk involved in the risks he takes. That's why they're called risks. And when the risks backfire, you take some pretty heavy damage. It's going to be a non-choke Zerg build order here from Rabbit. I like that. No choke. It's a risky play. And 4 of 8 has to counter this by just going all out on gateway unit production and overpower Rabbit. That's kind of what he has to do. But knowing Rabbit, he's got solid plans, and that mind of his, he might just pull out the win in this Zerg against Protoss. So far, 4 of 8 has won no games. Nothing at all. He's lost 3 times. I think he lost 3 times, yeah. I think he lost 3 times and Trisha lost once or twice. Honestly, not too sure. Honestly, not too sure. I think he lost twice, and Trisha also lost twice. But Trisha won 5 times to counterbalance the 2 losses he has. But my memory is bad. So it's gonna be kind of a Protoss against Terran build order here, where we're going for double gateway into Nexus, maybe? He's saving up a lot of money here. This looks very much like Protoss against Terran. Double gateway Nexus. But apparently, 4 of 8 believes you can also do this build order against a Zerg. So we have no Sunkens here. He went for a very late spawning pool. Went for a hatchery, 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 spawning pool. That is a super risky late spawning pool. But he's got some luck on his side, because we have Zealots from 4 of 8 going the wrong direction. If they had gone this direction, they might have arrived just on time to stop the Sunken. So Rabbit here is having some dumb luck. He's not playing dumb, he's playing smart, but this is some dumb luck. This is some dumb luck. Because Rabbit is on the last scouting location for 458. This is pure luck that he gets away with a triple hatchery against a 2 gateway opening. Any other scouting pattern from 458 and Rabbit would have taken some pretty nasty damage. So we have a Hylisk Den there, already coming out. 1 Sunken on the scene. The Zealots cannot do too much. We already have 4 hatcheries this early in the game. He might get number 5 now as well. Is he going to get number 5? That's a big question. Is he going to get number 5? Or is he not going to get number 5? He's still building Sunkens at the moment. A lot of minerals building up in the bank. Getting more Overlords. He's saving up as many larvae as possible, because of course he cannot produce anything. But there is the Overlord, and he goes straight for drones and Hylisks and gets Hylisk. He cancels the speed. That is peculiar. That is interesting. So gateway in the front, cannons behind. He's walling off this entrance. 458 is doing something I've never ever seen a Protoss do before against the Zerg. He's walling off this choke. And he's going to build from this point onwards and trying to contain a Rabbit. Not here in the middle, but here in the choke. You don't get a very big cannon spread here. But you can build Reavers here. And then push forward from this point onwards. This is going to be an interesting game because both players are playing non-standard. I really like the adaptation Rabbit made. He saw this here on the middle, or in the choke point with his Overlords, and decided to delay his Hylisk speed and get a lair first, and then get the Hylisks afterwards. Or there's a couple of them finished up there though, but they're just there to help beefing up the defenses. 13 drones. He's been droning up very hard and getting 2 more gas as well. Worker counts are about the same, so 4 of 8 here is going to have a pretty tough game. Rabbit somewhat cheated the start by getting the triple hatchery before pool and getting away with it. He's getting himself an economic advantage over 458, and 458 is playing this very oddly. As I said at the start, all 458 had to do was go for a mass gateway production, but he's going for double robotics. Well, single robotics here, but only triple gateway. He's going really heavy on the advanced technology, and I'm not sure if that is the right choice, because what I've historically been seeing is when someone goes for advanced technology against a non-choke Zerg, the non-choke Zerg grows really rapidly, because they don't have to build a choke and Sunkens in the front. Everything is here located in the back. So they don't really have to invest a lot in protecting the front. They also get the benefit of having triple hatchery before a pool, which of course means more larvae earlier into the game, which means more drones, more Hylisks, more economy, more everything. You can already see, usually, we never ever see a Zerg with more drones than probes. So we have Templar's support bit there on the way, Citadel of Adun, getting Dragoon range to protect the Reavers from Mutalisks. We have Spire on the way there from Rabbit, and a Queen's Nest already there, going for an extremely fast hive. This is something I've never ever seen done before. Rabbit is still playing this very risky. He does not know what's inside of 4 of 8's base. Oh, he does not actually know what 4 of 8 is doing, but he can see this here in the middle. He sees the double robo, and with the double robo he can assume, somewhat safely, that 4 of 8 is going for Reavers and Perhaps some other options like Zealot Speed, Dragoon Range. He knows that a lot of gas is being mined. A lot of gas being mined means less probes on the minerals, which means less army. He knows all of that just by having this overlord right here and seeing the robotics. That's all the information he needs. Seeing the robotics here in the middle, he knows the 458 does not have a lot of minerals coming into the bank. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hatcheries for rabbit. Mules are ready to go. This hive will finish in about 5 seconds, which means you can build guardians very early into the game. And 458 does not look prepared for guardians because he needs more dragoons, perhaps some corsairs, and perhaps some storms. But he's getting reavers. He's got a lot of zealots, only 2 dragoons. More dragoons are coming across the map, but it's this amount of dragoons. That'd be enough. A rabbit might just be throwing his advantage here by going into kill the cannons, although perhaps he does have enough mule discs to really do some dirty damage here. He's got about 13, 15 of them right here. Killed 2 cannons. I think he lost about 3 mule discs as well. Killed 2 dragoons. That was a worthy trade. But now, 458 knows that he has to build more dragoons and get more anti-air. So perhaps Rabbit showed his cards too early, but the amount of mule discs keeps growing and growing. With his 48 drones, mining minerals, mining gas, he's strong, he's rich. There's a whole lot going for him. Supply count's almost even. And he's actually going to clear out the sides, because with mass mule discs, you can clear out the sides really easily. This game is looking better and better for Rabbit. 458, I feel he might have miscalculated, misread the situation, and got himself stuck in a pretty difficult situation. For sure. So we have 24 mule discs here pushing forward onto the dragoons, onto the reavers, onto the cannons, but doesn't quite achieve that much. Kills 4 dragoons, a cannon, and forced to retreat after losing about 4 or 5 mule discs. Perhaps not worth it, but he still has a stronger fighting force than 458. He has a lot of zealots. Zealots are great against Sunkens here on the low ground, but pretty bad against everything that flies in the air, because those tiny little blades with their short little arms, they don't reach into the high skies like a dunker. Like Michael Jordan, they can't dunk into the sky and hit those guardians. Is, kind of locked on the ground, running around. They're not very great jumpers. They lost the genetic race. So now we've got some Hylas in the mix as well. We've got Guardians in the air morphing. We got Scourges on the way to kill Corsairs, but there's no Corsairs. But he's assuming there will be Corsairs, but there are no Corsairs. We have Lurker Aspector on the way for the Hydras. We have level 1 attack finished up for ground, level 1 attack on the way for Carapace on the way for air. And he goes forward, and we have this small little choke point with everything balled up together, unable to properly fight, getting surrounded by 24 Guardians marching forward into the middle. 69 workers on both sides of the game. Guardians having an easy time pushing through this choke point. Reavers have nowhere left to go, there's no shells to pick them up, and they're too slow to run away. Reavers, yet again, lost the evolutionary race compared to the Zerg, which is fast, nimble, the perfect creation. The Zerg, beautiful, absolute peak performance, the peak physiology. Pushes forward into the middle, he's pulling back slowly, he needs a whole lot more dragoons, supply elite for a rabbit. All the zealots are dead and gone, Hydras are joining from behind. This game is an enigma. None of this should have happened, but everything did happen the way it did. But it shouldn't, but it did. Question marks all over the place. But the rabbit here marching forward victoriously with a very strong, smart performance that completely caught 458 off guard so badly that 458 just looks like a fumbling fool who doesn't know what to do. All because Rabbit tricked him in every single way by doing the most unexpected of things imaginable. I mean, this game is very unexpected. Rabbit, everything not by the book. Everything here is non-standard. This is just completely new Zerg strategies, never before seen, done in this way, in this situation. And even at the score, 5 wins for both players, for both teams, which means that we have a pretty good shot for Gensay and Rabbit to still come out victorious in this tag team battle. We have a couple more games lined up, so let's go into the next one. Trisha returns onto the scene, and the Rabbit switches over to Terran. Trisha is going to be Protoss yet again. Team 4 of 8 and Trisha pretty much just playing Protoss every single game. Rabbit and Gensay switching through every single race. I assume Zerg, Terran, and Protoss. So 5-5, both sides. What do we have in game number 11? Trisha right next to Rabbit. Great position for Rabbit. Great spawning location for Rabbit. So they're playing a Protoss against random, it appears, because he's saying Terran. Or to be more precise, Telan, but the Korean script has the same letter for R and L, so you can say Telan and you mean Terran. Goes for barracks in the choke. He's gonna go for a bunker rush because he's expecting Trisha to go for a choke first, the forge. So whatever Trisha's gonna do next will decide the course of this game. Rabbit's success will dramatically increase. His chances for success will dramatically increase depending on what Trisha does. Is it going to be a gateway first? Another gateway coming up right afterwards. Double gateway on a 7 pylon. That's a very fast pylon. This is exactly what Rabbit is doing is weak against. Barracks first on 8 supply depot, and another supply depot, or it's going to be barracks. Double barracks in the front. This looks like an attempt to bunker rush. Got a little bunker right here, or maybe a supply depot right here, and a wall off the entrance. The Marines are going to come out, and the Zealots are soon to be on the way as both gateways are almost finished up. Got Trisha scouting shallow. Shallow scouts. Goes in just in the entrance to find something in the entrance, but finds nothing in the entrance. Just cheating his scouting. Both players are cheating their scouting, not going in all the way because they're both expecting to find something in the choke. But guess what? You scouted the choke, but he's right here. You missed him. You missed him, you fool, you blubbering, bumbling fool. You missed him. And that's going to be bad for Rabbit because Marines are out on the map, not at home to defend. And the Zealot, I feel, is going to go to the top. Because that is pretty much the last. They find each other. Marine, Zealot. He's going to assume he's right here on the top. Because the Marine came from... Oh, Probe goes to the top. Zealot goes to 1 o'clock. Got one Marine back at home. Have to build a supply depot really, really quick. Get it quick! And he gets it. So the Zealots can't get in, but they can kill the SCV and then kill... Wait, actually, look at this. He just walks all the way around. He just gets in there. So going to put the SCV in between. You're going to have to kill the SCV. Marines can walk through the supply depot easily. They can michael back and forth, but this is bad for Rabbit. This looks really bad. Zealots are behind enemy lines, and more are coming to flank from behind. Marines are pulling back home, going to try to defend, but it's 2 Zealots, 3 Marines. 2 Zealots will always win that fight. Rabbit is in some trouble. So this is what I meant. Rabbit sometimes plays too smart, cuts too many corners, takes risks defensively that look very smart on paper, but then sometimes just backfire because things just don't go the way he needs them to. Also, this is huge. This is huge. The fact that this is walkthrough completely destroys and ruins all of Rabbit's plans. He probably assumed you could not walk through that small, tight little gap below the barrack, but it is backfiring oh so hard because Zealots are in the house and he's having trouble defending. Now he does have enough Marines. The Zealots can kill quite some Marines in the situation still. Still forced to run around, back and forth, and defend. Zealots in the front are just going to kill whatever they can right there, while this Zealot in the back distracts and kills 1 or 2 more Marines. Getting a command center. Perhaps a little bit too greedy. A little bit too greedy. I don't know, it feels a little bit too greedy. Cybercore there in the base for Trisha. Went for another Nexus. Zealots are just walking through. Just walking through. Ignoring the wall, it's not effective. It's a complete failure of a wall. Not even Trump would say, this is my kind of wall. Trump would be mad. He would be angry. This is not my kind of wall. So Zealot's just going to keep on walking in. This should not have happened. I said in the previous game that the previous game should not have happened, but this should definitely not have happened. Rabbit did not plan for this one. So in the corner there. walking away, marching, microing, as if he's supporting, but the Zealots, you know, they're beefy little boys with their short little arms and legs, running to and fro, back and forth, getting in between the Marines. Really good micro. And the more coming in, he's just bleeding. Rabbit is just bleeding continuously. Finds the factory, delays it, as if he's trying to get on top of it, manages to get one on there with some micro, gets to the backside yet again, and Zealots once again walk through the front door while he gets himself a choke in the front. Robo finished up, getting a second Robo as well. Support Bishop is coming up at the back. Citadel of Vadun is coming up as well. Rabbit is just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. He's not losing much. He's not losing much, but what he is losing is so distracting, so disorienting, that Trisha keeps gaining smaller bits of advantages as time goes on. Firebat's coming out. But the Firebat goes down pretty quick. Another one is there in the back. Getting stim. Got one medic. Reaver is soon on the way as the Shuttle is in production. Shuttle speed is on the way. Zealot speed on the way as well. Supply depot in the front getting murdered. Marines gonna have to save the front very quick because the damage here is piling up. Zealots are splitting up. That's annoying because now that means Rabbit has to focus on two groups at the same time instead of just one, which buys Trisha more time for the Reavers. Now we have starports on the way, 3 of them. 3 starports. No tanks, no siege mode. He's going to try to defend with triple Wraith coming out before the Reavers are on the map. But I think the Reavers are going to be here faster than the Wraiths. It's going to be a very tight time window for Rabbit to defend against the Reaver. The Reavers are spawning right about now, and the Wraiths have not yet been queued up. There they are, they're being queued up, but the Reavers are done. Wraiths still have about 15 to 20 seconds left in production. So the Zealots and the Reavers are going to march through that front door and break it all down. Marines, very small in number, probably will not be able to defend themselves. This game has slowly spiraled into disaster. Stims in, Reavers unloading, Marines running away, kills only the Firebat. But the Wraiths are still 5 seconds away. Crawling closer to the SCDs. Unloads. The Scarab shots are amazing. Killing all the Marines, kills every single Marine in fact. Wraiths have spawned. Shuttle cannot, picks it up, unloads, gets a little bit close to the SCVs, but the Reaver, it's walking around because these Zealots block this point, but now the Zealots are in the base, running about everywhere. And there's only Wraiths and a tank and about 4 Marines to defend. Killing the refinery to make sure no more gas comes in to build more Wraiths. And there's the Reavers on the scene, kills the SCVs, and that's the kill shot, leaves the game, and Trisha wins the 6th game for his team. He really is the MVP of this best of set. 6 wins by Trisha, none by 458. Which now means we're going into game number 12. Yes, game number 12. There's a lot of games. More games than I thought there would be. I thought it would be like 9 or something, or 7. But we're going into game number 12. Game number 12. Because the games are so short. If the games were longer, we probably would have had less games, but because the games are so short, we're just going through a long list of games. So now we got Gensay on Zerg, and Trish again on Protoss. Game number 12. The score is 6 against 5. 6 wins for Trish and 458, 5 for Gensay and Rabbit. And now we got a cross-map situation, and cross-map is very good for Gensay. Very good for Gensay. Very bad for Trisha. The traveling distance across the map just spells a lot of trouble for Trisha's playstyle, because he plays standard. And all Gensay has to do is get overlords all over the map, and he has all the protection and vision he needs to intercept shuttle drops. Traveling time really helps a Zerg more than anything else. Cross-map Protoss against Zerg, the hardest matchup to play for Protoss, but still in the favor of Protoss. But knowing Gensay, he's so good, so skilled, he might just have enough tools in his hands now to get himself another win against Team Trish and 458. another no choke build order from a Zerg. I think we've seen this pretty much every single game so far where a Zerg has been involved. No choke. They do build into a choke later on, but they start off with no choke. Nexus first from Trisha, going for the economy build order. But the economy build order means Gensay might just go for triple or 5 hatcheries before actually getting any proper defenses. He will at least go for double hatchery. That at least might go for triple. You never know with these guys. Might just go for triple hatchery. Leaving with one drone to scout. Gensay does not leave things up to chance, he always scouts pretty early. Rabbit leaves things up to chance more often, goes for very late scouts. It's gonna be a pool. So hatchery pool. Not taking as much risk as Rabbit did. Goes for a cross map scout. He's gonna find Trisha pretty much immediately. Trisha is scouting just the chokes, but he decides to go for full scouts because he doesn't want to repeat what happened last game before Rabbit, where Rabbit was right next to Trisha, but didn't find him until it was too late. Checks if there's any creep. No creep is found. No creep is found there either. Drone gets across the map, and he finds him, and now Trisha is still trying to figure out where Gensay is. We got Gaster on the way. Don't think he will get any defensives here. Like, he might get a sunken later than usual. He's gonna get hatcher number 4 first, might get number 5, and then get his first sunken. Or maybe he's gonna rely on just the Zerglings. No sunkens to defend himself. Because he's here inside of Trisha's base, drone running around in circles, getting killed by very slow dancing little didgeridoo. Zealots have spawned, cannon on the way in the back, gas finished, Cybercore will soon be on the way. And he found the creep, found the base, so yes, we're gonna need a sunken right about now. Unless he's gonna build like 6 or 8 Zerglings, which should be enough to defend against the Zealots. Getting the Zergling speed. Got the money for a hatchery, but he's getting Overlords first. Well, double Overlord, not 1, but 2. Getting hatcher number 5 indeed. Zergling on the middle there, buying some time against those Zealots, keeping track, keeping information for these units here back at home. We got 6 Zerglings on the way, so a total of 8 will be on the map. Yeah, he should be perfectly fine here. He should be perfectly fine with those Zerglings spawning with speed. You can get an easy surround on the Zealots. Got the vision there with the Overlord. His Overlord is moving towards the choke here to get information from things leaving the base. And Zealots are waiting there on the middle to regroup with their 2 brothers that went out earlier. But the Zerglings are ignoring everything and just going to run right across the map and try to get into the back. Get on top of the cannon, kill the cannon, and hopefully kill some probes. Don't think it's going to work because Zealots are arriving back home just in time, but Gensay is buying himself a lot of time to grow bigger and stronger with these Zerglings. Cross map really is the best scenario for a Zerg, not going for a choke. It is the worst for a Protoss that is playing against a Zerg that did not go for a choke. So we got some Dragoons, which are having an easier time killing Zerglings from a distance. Now notice a difference here between what 4v8 is doing, did 2 games ago, and what Trisha is doing right now. He's going for a lot of gateways, which is the opposite of what 4v8 did. 4v8 went for a block into advanced technology. Trisha knows he has to kind of go all in on gateway units. He's playing this by the book, playing standard, not taking risks, not deviating, not trying to improvise, not trying to make up new strategies. He's sticking to the manual, going for mass gateway units. Dragoon range, weapon attack on the way, Citadel of Fadoon warping in for Zealot speed, might get a Templar's Archive for Templar Storm, and then get a robotics facility for shuttles and a support bay. But first, the units are what he needs, because he has to put pressure onto Gensay, who already has a lair. Very early, very quick. Getting 2 Sunkens now. Only 6 minutes into the game will he have Sunkens. Zerglings are here in huge numbers, ready to defend, ready to surround the Zealots and the Dragoons. Vision from the Overlords is providing with all the information on the whereabouts of Trisha's units. Trisha might be going a little bit too soon, before level 1 attack, before speed. He might regret this, he might not. Zerglings are burrowed up, this is great. Gensay got burrow for the Zerglings to trap Trisha into overextending, and he's going to unburrow when he attacks, and have a surround on those pesky Zealots and Dragoons. So he walks right in there, he gets a lot of information, sees some Zerglings spawning, but does not see the other 24 burrowed below the ground. Might be even 30 of them. Might be even 30 Zerglings burrowed below ground. Now Trisha's gonna wait here. He's playing it smart. Not taking risks. Gensay, 29 drones. Hydralisks are spawning, getting range, getting level 1 attack, getting a Spire as well, getting more gas. Things are progressing exactly as they should for both players here. Neither of the two are taking big risks. Neither of the two taking big risks. Both players are somewhat playing this very standardly. No risks involved. So robotics finished up there for Trisha, getting an observatory. No Templar's Archive. I was expecting the Templar's Archive for some Templars to storm. He's pushing forward. He might fall into the trap right about now. When he gets in a little bit deeper with those Zealots, he might just get surrounded. He's keeping the Zealots back. He's keeping them back. Maybe he is expecting something. Maybe he is suspecting. Oh, we got Mulus in the air. Big army for Gensay here. Gensay has to go right about now before more reinforcements come from across the map to attack. He's going to have to go right about now, and he goes right in. He's going to attack the Zealots first. Try to snake around the Dragoons. These got spotted out by the Overlord in the choke. He might lose that hat. Oh, he's unburrowing. He's going for the attack. He knows he's got to go right now. It's now or never. Zergling's going for the attack. A couple more are burrowed up. Mules in the back. Mules in the back are providing a lot of support against those Zealots. But more units coming from Gensay. Trisha is pushing forward strongly. But does Gensay have enough Mutalisks in the air to kill the Dragoons? Does he have enough Mutalisks? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, maybe he does. Maybe he does have enough Dragoons. Because Zealots and Zerglings and Hydralisks are coming in to flank on the Dragoons and kill the Dragoons and assist with taking them down. Before he loses more of his Mutalisks, he might just turn his game in his favor. He might just do it. Only 27 drones. Only 5 hatcheries. And Trisha has a huge amount of Dragoons and Zealots coming across the map on level 1 attack and speed. Armor level 1 on the way. Observers in production, getting observer speed. Shuttle speed as well, getting a Reaver. I think this game looks pretty much to be in favor of Trisha. He played this exactly as he had to. Played it exactly as he had to. And it's all working out really nicely for him. Slowly dancing forward into the middle. He's trying to get a proxy base onto the middle. Almost 100 supply difference. Finds the probes in the middle, snaking around with the mutas. Does not find the shuttle. Shuttle stays alive. Reaver is inside. Goes for the frontal attack now. It's time to go. Big supply lead. No lurkers on the map yet for Gensay. No Templars either. But there's so many Dragoons with level 1 attack. I don't think that Gensay can survive this. I don't think he can survive this. His army looks really strong. Gensay might have just gone for too many Zerglings when he should have gone for perhaps more economy. Reaver crawling forward, shoots, and the drones, they do get away, they don't explode. Reaver might have died. Gensay is turning the fight. He's turning the fight. Trisha retreats. Regroups with more Dragoons. But this is a pretty good fighting force. And only 5 hatcheries. And he's pushing Trisha back into the middle. Where cannons have not yet finished warping in. But more Zealots and Dragoons are reinforcing the existing ones on the middle. Hydas have to retreat. Back at its 100 supply difference. Back at 100 supply difference. Trisha has secured the middle. Gensay needs some time to grow. He's fallen behind a lot. Because look at the difference in production ability. We have a lot of gateways, over 10, I think 14 gateways or so. I'm not going to count them exactly, but about 14 I would say. That's a lot of production there for Trisha, and not a whole lot for Gensay here. Although he does have Lurker aspect finished up, but he needs to morph some Lurkers in order to really get the advantage. Observer on the way here from Trisha in the back, or maybe in the front. One of the two. It's a Reaver. He's going for a backstab attack. He's gonna try to base trade. Risk it all on this one small little move. Lurkers are morphing in the front, not yet finished up. The Lurkers in the back. Mutas are coming across the map, going for the backstab. There's about 6 cannons there to protect, and about 20 Mulas to kill them. This should work. There's gonna be a base trade. Gotta go now or never. Trish, you gotta go now or never. Kills the Lurkers. More Lurkers morphing in the back. While he's losing the cannons in his own main base, Dragoons are away from home. Dragoons are retreating. A couple of them are retreating. Goes for the attack there into Gensay's base. There's a 120 supply difference. He's overpowering Gensay in his main base. Morphing Lurkers to build some walls to keep the Zealots away. Gets the Lurkers popped. Lurkers burrow up quick. He is too slow. Loses almost all of them. Observer is still back at home. Mutas are killing the Nexus. Eagle kills the Nexus. This is a weird turn of events. A weird turn of events. We have an Observer somewhere. There's its spawn. It's moving into Gensay's base. Gensay is 60 supply. Trisha lost his Nexus, but he still has a lot of ropes, a lot of production, and a lot of army to keep on pushing forward. Lurkers spawn. Observer arriving very slowly, very soon, and will arrive on time to prevent the kill. Reaver can shoot. Drones unstacked, but there's only 2 hatcheries left. Third one is on the way. I think Trisha might have just done it and solo carried his team to possibly the victory in this best of whatever set it was. As he single-handedly kills Trisha, Trisha single-handedly kills Gensay and Rabbit 7 times. 7 times, 7 kills, 2 deaths. 4 of 8, no kills, 3 deaths. Beautifully played by Trisha, again showing and displaying dominance, and Gensay playing very risky. He built way too many Zerglings, tried to do some fancy trickery, some fancy trapping with burrowed Zerglings, and it backfired quite strongly. It backfired quite strongly. Beautiful play though, but perhaps the wrong choice of action. So, I think we actually have 2 more games in this set, but they're a little bit longer, so I'm going to save both of them for the next video, because we're already in quite a bit. We're already in 43 minutes, so I'm going to save them for the next time. A couple more games. I'm going to save them for the next video. Can Gensay and Rabbit still make the comeback, or is this gonna be it? Are Trisha and 4 of 8 gonna get the win here? Find out in the next episode here on RGB TV. Was fun having you. See you next time.